Welcome everyone to episode 1 of the Xtra Minutes podcast revamp edition. On Xtra Minutes, we take a look at what athletes, coaches, and sports personnel do with their time off the field to better themselves and others. And today we're joined by senior forward of the University of Colorado team, Katie Joella. Katie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm so excited.
And we're super excited to have you. Now, you're a Division I student athlete in a Power 5 conference, but you spend a lot of your extra minutes volunteering. So let's start there. Tell us a little bit about the work that you do.
Yeah, for sure. So I like to get out as much as I can to help the community and those around me. So one of the major things me and my other teammates will do is we'll go to the Children's Hospital up in Denver, and I've done this about 3 or 4 times, I'm pretty sure. And we'll walk around room to room. We give them a ton of fun little gifts, little bracelets or pom poms or something CU related, and we'll just talk to them. And it's so cool to see their faces light up because they obviously envy us and are very excited to see us, and they want to be where we are. So it's really cool to talk to them and hear their stories as well. And it's great because also the families talk to you too, and they say how great it is that we're here to see their kids. And it makes every student athlete happy that comes with us, as also with the people who are in the hospital. So that's one of the volunteering works that we do. Another one that we also do is called Read with the Bus, where we go to elementary schools and we read to the students in the elementary schools, and they get to ask us all kinds of questions after we read to them. And it's really funny to some of their questions are hilarious, but they always ask questions like, how many goals did you score? Or it's so cute, and it's such a good time to talk to them and and get them reading more and helping them out in their school. And one more volunteer work that I do that isn't actually through CU. I did it through my high school coach actually, and my siblings do it now too. It's called Cubbies, and I think this is a great program that I forget which club hosts it, but it's a club in Colorado hosts it, where some families with special needs children bring their kids out to the soccer field, and we'll play with them for an hour or two every weekend. And I try and do that over the summer, or when my sister was in high school, I would try and meet up with them if I could and had the time. And it's just so great to see them get out there and play. And then the families obviously love watching their children get out and play. So I mean, there's so many volunteer works that you can do, so it's always a great time.
And you mentioned a little bit how you got started with the Cubbies program, but how did you just get involved in all the different things that you do?
Yeah, CU pretty much provides, they send out emails every day with volunteer work that you can always sign up and do. Obviously, it's hard with what's going on right now to be able to find some time or anywhere that will let us go and visit. But yeah, it's really easy. CU, the athletic department sends out an email every single day, and they're like, here are your volunteer opportunities if you want to sign up for one. And they always coordinate with some time that you have open, and it's just a great time to go. So
And I mean, you already mentioned it's hard to find time, but why do you ultimately, go out and actually decide to volunteer?
it's more to see the kids. It makes me happy that they're happy, because most of the kids that we go and see, the kids in the hospital or the special needs children, they don't get to experience sports like we get to experience. So once they see an athlete there in front of them, they just get so excited, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. We wish we could be doing what you're doing. And it's great to tell them stories so they can almost live their life through you. So it's really cool to see how excited they get.
And do you think all the work that you do actually really impacts them in a positive way?
Yeah, for sure. I know that some of the kids out from the Cubbies volunteer work, they actually have gone and like started their own league and like play every, yeah, it's so cool. They like play every like week together, and they'll just have practices and they'll scrimmage each other, and it's just so great because like just the one thing you do could just lead to so much more of their like happiness.
And you kind of mentioned, what you do for them, but what does, volunteering and like working with those kids like actually do for you?
Yeah, I think it makes me a better person, honestly. um it just makes me like appreciate what I have a lot more than I usually do like on a daily basis. Just seeing them and knowing that like they're not able to do what I do every day, even though like it is strenuous, it is time consuming, it's so amazing, and it just makes me feel so grateful that I have the opportunity that I have.
And how do you balance, volunteering, going to class, being a student athlete? How does that all, fit into one schedule?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, that's for sure. I actually also have a job too, so I always have to fit that in. But yeah, I mean, weekends are the time to do it. If we have a day off, then we do it then, you know. It's always worth it to find the time. It is hard, but if you really, really tried hard to like find the time to do it, you could.
And do you think, I mean, you're a senior now, so do you think after you graduate, you'll continue doing, like, maybe not specifically these programs, but continuing with your volunteer work?
Yeah, definitely. I After I graduate, I actually want to go into teaching. So my high school coach was actually a teacher too. So I think like I just want to take after her almost and find a program and bring my team to it if I decide to like coach in high school as well, and try and get others involved as well as myself. So that's the plan.
And why do you think, teaching and volunteering all have that servitude aspect to it? Like, what do you think draws you to those types of positions and work?
Yeah, definitely my mom for sure. She was a teacher growing up. She had 3 kids, had to take a break, and then she started teaching again a few years ago. So she definitely inspires me to do that. And then my father also, he owned a laundromat a couple years ago, and every Thanksgiving, like every Christmas, he would always have the homeless people over, and he would make meals for them. So like both my parents are very big on like volunteering, servitude, and stuff like that. So it definitely takes after them.
And so you take after them and they kind of impacted you, to do all of these different things. Do you think that by you volunteering and helping other people, you kind of impact your teammates or other people around you?
Yeah, definitely. I think if they see me doing what I'm doing, they're like, "Oh, when is the next time you go? Because I would like to go too." And I know that's definitely happened a couple times, and I've done the same, like with other people who are volunteering. And I'm just like, "Oh, how can I get involved?" So I think it's great to like look up to people who are doing that and try and follow in their footsteps, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, that it's so awesome because it's kind of like a ripple effect, like if one person does it, then you get more people going. But you, in addition to volunteering and playing soccer and going to school, you also have interests in pop culture, from what I hear, and you have a little vlog about The Bachelor. Tell me a little bit about that.
So me and my friend Sophia, we she's also on the team. We just love The Bachelor. We love everything about pop culture. Like we just heard Keeping Up with the Kardashians is getting canceled, so we're a little bit sad about that. That's another big show we like. But yeah, we were sad that the new Bachelorette took a pause this season. So hopefully that comes on soon. I'm pretty sure it does. But yeah, we vlogged the whole Bachelor last semester, and it was just fun to see. Like I had people actually come up to me and they're like, "Your vlogs are so funny," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad you watch them," because I never thought anybody really was watching them. But yeah, I mean, anything with pop culture, honestly, I just love. I'm very big on social media. yeah, it's this day and age.
It's kind of like this a sign of the time. So if the Bachelorette does come back, are you going to have a vlog about that? Or are you solely just like sold on the Bachelor? Like that's the only thing you're going to talk about? Like how's that going to work?
Yeah, I definitely love The Bachelorette just the same amount. So, if Seth allows me to, I'll vlog again.
We'll have to ask him if it's okay. And
Yeah.
are you going to release any statements about the Kardashians and your disappointment with them canceling the
Oh
show? Because I
God,
have friends who
gonna
are
be a
so
little too
upset by
soon.
it.
No, I mean maybe me and Sophia both equally feel the same amount of pain from that, but maybe we'll release a statement soon.
We'll have to be on standby for it. But what do you think? How did your love for pop culture, like even start? Or like you said, it was just a sign of the times, or
I think honestly through social media. I mean, that's just what we're all on our phones all the time, like you see what is Kylie Jenner wearing today, or what is who's the new bachelorette, and it's just it makes you excited for their shows, and then that's just I get into it. Yeah. Definitely social media.
so is there maybe there's some way that you can combine, your love for volunteering with your love for pop culture and just like make one super popular vlog that like helps the world or something like that?
Somehow I gotta figure that out.
There has to be a formula to it. Well, we're almost done, but we're going to go back to your volunteering and we're going to go to the last segment of our show where we talk about the big Q. And this is kind of to help other people understand, like, what you do with your extra minutes, how they can do the same thing. So you're making the most of all your free time, but how can others do the same in their lives and why should they look to do that?
It's very easy to find places to volunteer. I mean, if you go online to any hospital, they probably will have sign up sheets where you can go in and just like color with the kids, or just hang out and play with them, or like whether cubbies. I know that it's very easy. I forget which club it was, but you could reach out and they'll say, yeah, please come out and play with them. Or it's very easy. It's just a matter of reaching out to the establishments that are hosting that. And it's definitely worth your time because the happiness that it brings the children and whoever else you're helping, it just makes them and yourself 10 times happier because they don't get to experience that every single day depending on what the volunteer work is. But so it's very inspiring to see them experience your you being there and how they take control, like how they take it in. It's very, very fun and exciting, and it'll make you a better person too, just seeing what you're doing for the world. I mean, we can each do whatever we can to help the world out, and like, I mean, one step at a time, it'll just get better and better.
One step at a time, and I guess one person at a time too, like you said, going back to the thing we talked about, bringing people on step by step. So if anyone listens to this and they want to get involved, they only need to be one person to kind of help a larger group of people.
Yep, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Katie, I won't take up too much more of your time. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, Katie Joella of the University of Colorado team on this week's episode of Extra Minutes Podcast. Thank you all so much for listening.